in their IGNs.
They're struggling against the Pantheon so far. With 10 seconds left on the clock, hopefully they come up with a solution here, and I think that's what they need right now. A lot of the times, it just boils down to the draft. There's so little that they can actually do, but they also have to start considering other factors here. Number one, it's that early game that must change. If that early game does not change for the side of the GameLab, it's going to be so tough for them to actually claim the next point.
I just love how one of the Euphoria members was playing a separate game while waiting for the draft.
It's a palate cleanser.
It is. You know, too much Mobile Legends. Well, I mean, too much of these pressures. You gotta relieve it somehow, right? There's not much breaks in between. Well, Euphoria back on the blue side. GameLab on red. This time Kaja 1-1. Nothing out of the ordinary so far.
Yeah, the same starters for... Oh, Euphoria is the one banning out Fanny here. Kinda odd, maybe to throw off GameLab, because the last time we saw Euphoria Esports on the blue side, they picked up Fanny.
Yeah, we say that GameLab needed a game 3. Well, they did win game 2 also, right? It was a slugfest. But now we have passed that halfway point in GameLab. They have to come up with something to force the game 5. Or else they are going to be in the shadows of Euphoria again. And they worked so hard. The entire journey was just GameLab in the spotlight. But every time against Euphoria, GameLab just get kind of swept aside.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to deal with here. Man, Euphoria really learning from their initial draft mistake in game number 2. Now banning out the Joy. They got rid of the Fanny because they don't want to open up with that, knowing what GameLab have in store for them. How's GameLab going to respond to this one? Do they want to ban out the Farmist, or do they leave it open? I feel like they should leave it open.
Yeah, I feel like they should too. They get the Kufra again.
Okay. They banned out the Kufra. They're expecting to see Euphoria Esports to lock in the Arlot, maybe? If not, they're going to probably start off with Valentina opener.
And Valentina, and even an Eve, right? It is also one of the strong openers that is available for Euphoria.
Would I say it's a strong opener? It really depends, right? It really depends what GameLab's objective is going to be. Do they want to get a good matchup for EUPH? Do they still want to prioritize Aizawa here? And I feel like they still are going to lead more towards Aizawa to get them out of tough situations. And there we go. The Valentina opener here. Now, GameLab, they're going to go for Arlot. Maybe pair it up with a Eve? No, Grok instead. Yes, because Farsa is still open. That's a good point.
And they don't have to worry about Farsa getting taken by Euphoria also. So GameLab is going for bigger priorities. This is what the Arlot was picked in the previous game in Tank Arlot for Havos. But this time they get the Grok in their hands. And both teams have been trading the Grok. Game 1 and 3 for Euphoria, game 2 and 4 for GameLab. But at least if you're Euphoria, you know that this Grok is going to go to Dortmund.
Well, like, I want to say yes, but it's a flex pick for a reason. And I think GameLab recognized the value of, hey, no matter what Euphoria does, right? You're going to steal an ultimate from us, we might get Farsa, and if you steal the Farsa ult, we can cancel it out. At the end of the day, it doesn't technically matter here, because that Grok could go into the EXP lane. So Euphoria, if they go in blind... Oh, okay. Well, so talking about going in blind.
That's one of the few blind picks that you can go for, right? Without much risk.
Yes, this is a great blind pick, as a matter of fact. They're expecting Euphoria to play either the mid lane with the Farsa or as well as the Farmist. Claude does well between the both of them.
And can just dive back, and even when you have the Farmist with the Cult Altar, it's primarily to withstand the kind of the initial barrage of the Blazing Duet.
So let's see how GameLab is going to respond to this, right? They lock in the Farmist. They want to make sure that their team is going to be healthy for these fights, but now they need to start attacking the jungle. They also need to start considering what other gold laners to deny EUPH for the side of Euphoria.
The Benedetta comes to mind for GameLab. They don't really have a way to catch the mobile hero, and Euphoria this time betting out Halkert, which I think is great, right? You turn off the lights, it's hard for the Cho and the Claw to do much. Euphoria Esports is one step ahead in the ban phase.
They don't mind this, and I respect that. GameLab, on the other hand, the fact that they're banning up Benedetta does tell us that they still generally want Havos to have a good matchup somehow. Something that won't force priority. They got rid of Glue, which is number 1. Benedetta always forces priority in the EXP lane, so there's still an option for him to actually get away with playing Grok in the EXP. Ling gets banned out here, so they don't want Euphoria Esports to rotate around the map fast.
Does leave the Lancelot up on the table, which GameLab can grab if they want to.
I think they are going to grab it this time around.
See what Euphoria has in store. They still have that one ban, right?
I don't know what they're going to lead it to. Do they want to get rid of Beatrix here? But they already see the Claude, so that's not necessary. Okay, Brody instead, so that Claude doesn't get bullied out too hard.
should be a Lancelot angle for GameLab. Right? You can leave that gold laner for last. It's not too much to worry. Unless they prioritize the gold laner more. I don't think so. I feel like that Lancelot has to come out now.
I mean, if Lancelot comes out now, I feel like Lancelot coming out now, not that bad, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Lancelot coming out, and now Euphoria Esports. Let's see what they want to do. So Claude already does a really good job against Melissa, so they don't expect Melissa for the side of GameLab, and that's why they banned out that Brody. But to finish off their composition, what do they need? They have a way to copy the Call Altar. Do they have any engage tools other than the Cho? They could go for Martis. They could go for Fredrin. Fredrin doesn't seem too bad of an idea, but I think if they want to control the early game a little bit more, they'll pick up the Martis.
I think Martis would be great as well. When GameLab, they want to clump up together, but Euphoria actually decided to go for the Fredrin.
A little bit more reliable here.
Yeah. Just having a brick wall, right? You allow this Claw to really do his work. And even then, Euphoria Esports, they threaten a lot of that cash potential. And the Paquito comes out, so this is an XP lane Fredrin.
Ooh, okay. So you have a high damage fighter here. You're looking to take out some of the members. I don't know. Paquito is extremely risky in this position because even if it goes into the jungle, you're expected to take out the marksman. You're expected to take out Aizawa in this particular situation because eventually it's going to come to a point where you can't actually deal with the Lancelot because he just has too much health. Oh, Leslie though.
How does Leslie fit into this?
Look. I'm trying to figure that out myself. They want true damage. They want a way to cut through the hard tanks, especially that Fredrin, but they don't want the short range from the carry. So I guess this is kind of their compensation for the side of GameLab. I think it's interesting. I'm going to need some time to think about this for a second.
Yeah, and this is potentially GameLab's last match, right? The most important match of this grand finals. They whip out the Leslie, but we can say the same for Euphoria. Now we're really, reaching into the pockets of these two teams in terms of the draft. The Paquito also shown by Euphoria. At least, this is what the best of 5 does to you.
Yeah.
You really, dig deep.
You really got to dig deep into your pockets, look at your hero pool, and question yourself, am I capable of doing it? Is this something that will actually benefit the team? Here at match point, Euphoria on blue team. It's going to be GameLab on the red team. Now, coming back to the compositions that we were talking about earlier, I feel like with this Leslie pick, it's a way to kind of compensate for the fact of not having a carry. As good as carry is, her biggest issue is that she is rather short range. Leslie completely negates that. And more importantly so, with her ultimate snipe, she's able to open up the map without needing another support to risk their life. So with these tools, I want to see how they play out the lane because I should expect Yuktizzi to get ahead.
And I think this also puts some pressure on Euphoria, where they need Yoshigor to somehow get onto Yuktizzi, right? This guy he's gonna be at long range all the times. There's no one from Euphoria who can reliably get to him.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's all about positioning half the time. And Yuktizzi, if he's careful, he should be able to get away with it. Even with a full damage build on this Paquito, he's going to have to find an angle to get on top of him. And even then, there is still a good amount of counterplay that Yuktizzi can actually do, Flicker being one of them. But the fact that his knockback gives him so much space. Oh, immediately, level 1 trade.
This early trade, Shizzle God, I don't think he wins this one. Yuktizzi instantly pushing him away again. You can see the true damage.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. The fact that he goes for Electroflash in comparison to Avarice, he doesn't mind. Honestly, Shizzle Guy, he doesn't mind trading this low at level 1. He's technically earning more money.
And he has to purify in case he gets jumped. Yoshigor showing up very early to push Yuktizzi away. Honestly, this Leslie holding well on her own.
Yep, very, very well. Now, Lethal Wanderer getting contested here. The rest of GameLab aren't really going to get into the middle of that fight just yet. They don't want to be part of this business, but you can see that even Dokman coming up to this to the top side. Now, all of it calling Yoshigod this early on, especially with how that level 1 trade actually went, is to allow Shizogod to get that early recall. He wants to be topped up, he wants to be as clean as possible. Venogod, kind of deep here.
At least he did got the crab, gold crab, so nothing much was lost, right? Both junglers getting a standard start, hitting at level 4, waiting for the turtle to spawn on that bot side as well. So Yoshigod, he's prepping for it, but doesn't have the ultimate.
Well, let's see how this is going to play out, because Yuktz, he's going to start freezing it here, and I think it's a very good idea. He wants to make sure that Shizo, when he walks up, he needs to be punished for it. He should not be able to walk around this lane for free.
And Yoshi got clearing out that wave should give him that way of the dragon just a bit. Now he has gotten it. His god is there. Takenaga has 3 of his teammates helping him. They want this turtle for themselves. Rooting up from the side. GameLab securing the turtle. Takenaga walking away with it. They did use the call altar just for safety.
Yeah, that was a little tough for Yoshigod especially, because he wants to get on top of Takenaga, but he has to time the way of the dragon so it doesn't collide with the iframes of the Thorn Rose or maybe even the puncture at that point of time. It's really, really tough to time. So it's all about finding the right opportunity to land that third hit of G Kudo to guarantee the kick.
And it's so hard to land the Appraisal's Wrath onto a Arlor, right? Just dodges it with the dash. His god just like that, losing out the trade.
It's a good timing on the trade as well, because now there isn't a wave for Headscott to actually recuperate this gray health. Most of the time, the biggest issue between Arla as well as Fredrin is no matter how hard you trade, Arla eventually just out-heals and out-sustains you.
Yeah, Demon Mark's a pretty strong passive when you get the resets.
Yeah, oh, well, I mean, when you're up against Fredrin himself, he is thick and beefy, man. The guy doesn't go down very easily.
Conditions to heal, though, it's a bit easier to achieve as the Arlot.
For sure. Now, again, GameLab, I don't see them making too many plays across the board, right? Their composition needs quite a bit of time to actually scale, and fun enough, Havas actually having the stronger lane this time around.
Yoshigod here is very deep in, instantly pull back. He's gonna get the Jit Kundo into Way of the Dragon. They have the blazing duet, but First Blood goes over to Takenaga. Call Altar keeping the rest of GameLab alive. Ryujin God steals the Call Altar, but Euphoria can't follow up. Pernoko is gonna try, but Dogman is pretty beefy.
Okay. That was getting very, very scary for both sides. Like, Aizawa's like, oh, Aizawa, do you really want to still keep up with the fight? You're already at 50% HP, and, well...
Oh, Vano God. Dogman is not an easy target. Yeah, he's not gonna go for it.
Yeah, he's not gonna go for it, but he guarantees that Shizogod is able to hard shove this wave. He's gonna have teammates coming up. Aizawa, please don't face check this.
Aha, there it is.
Ultimate snipe, such a good ability.
Ryujin God is gonna go anyways, and they take care of Aizawa.
What?
I mean, why?
Oh.
Why did he?
Look, I guess he was confident that maybe Yuktz could, like, try to one-shot whoever gets Shadow Step onto Ryujin God. I don't know.
It's the kick, blazing duet, right on top. Dogman trying to walk out, but I mean, Aizawa is he's a far mid, so he comes back to life pretty quickly.
Yeah, he has more than enough stacks, especially in this early game. Oh, 50-50 here between Veno and Takenaga.
No Way of the Dragon for Yoshigod, so it's going to be very tough to disrupt Takenaga. He's going to get the turtle again, and now snipe on the Yoshigod. Oh, the flicker! Final slash from Havos to get the kill.
Right place, right time there. Ultimate snipe, great ability to chase people down with, and it doesn't have to be you who secures the kill.
And Euphoria Esports so far losing out on both turtles, and Shizogod is starting to get pressured a lot. That'll mirror image, getting him out. GameLab have 4 people here.
They're going to try and crush this as soon as possible. They realize that Yuktz has too much of a lead here. I mean, they'll be fine. Like,
yeah.
Euphoria, they've got more than enough wave clear with the help of all 3 of their members. It should be generally fine. Paquito shoving out the mid lane while all of this is happening. He's not really getting ahead here, but now they turn their way back.
Yeah, Flicker, Will the Dragon out of the placing duet just a little bit, but they're more than enough damage for Yuktz.
Beautifully done coming in for Euphoria. Somebody just respects the space, you punish them.
And now Dogman and Aizawa are forced to defend the turret. Euphoria Esports getting a considerable amount of damage on the structure. They're going to stick around just for a little bit.
Yeah, while this is happening, it looks like Takenaga has got a level lead over Venogod so far, but Euphoria just committed on this top side.
Aizawa can't really stay here for long. Shizogod shouldn't be able to take the turret, but does bring it dangerously low as well. Alright, the commitment from Euphoria is there. Now they finally get to tier 1. While that was happening, Headscott was cutting the bottom wave in the middle of the tier 2, in front of tier 2. He's taking the jungle from Takenaga away.
Yeah, but man, this has got to be... It's a little annoying for Takenaga because that means he doesn't maintain his level lead against Venogod, who his camp should be coming back up relatively soon here. But I do think that in GameLab's position so far, this is pretty ideal.
They use the conceal. Flicker response from Ryujin God is good, so Dogman can't get the engage.
Yeah. Despite the fact that GameLab is down by a turn, they don't mind dragging this out. They want to have enough scaling for Aizawa to get his Clock of Destinies, scale his mana up as quickly as possible, and pair it up with Lightning Truncheon. Yuktizzy, on the other hand, the more items he has, the more beneficial it is for his team. But then we turn over to Euphoria Esports, right? They want to press the matter as soon as possible, and more importantly, during the mid game, which it's about to hit in about a minute.
Yeah, third turtle going over to GameLab. Malefic Roar for Vanguard is there. Jikundo, just good patience from Yoshi God. Her voice is relatively tanky, but not against 4 members of Euphoria.
Yeah, this entire time, Euphoria Esports are moving as a squad, and they realize that GameLab is playing extremely passive, so they fully take advantage of this. What? He kills him with that! No!
Dude, Malefic Roar, man, I'm telling you. Oh my goodness.
2-item power spike instantly taken out too. Jeez.
I bet you Dolman was like, what? I die?
Yeah, I would have expected it to die like that as well. Wait, let me just have a look at what his items are. Ah, that explains it.
And actually, the flicker kick as well from Yoshi God. This guy, he is styling.
Yeah, he is styling, timed it perfectly well, knows that the power of nature only works when it's close to a wall. A boss?
Boss, not sure if you want to be there. Backup is here though. Aizawa has to call Alter. 10 HP, keeping her boss alive. But there we go, Blazing Duet, letting it loose. Jizzle God dropping low. I don't have enough gas to continue this, but his God straight to the back with the taunt. Yuktizzy getting his knockback. His God could not follow up, but Shizzle God made it out, and GameLab got 3.
Yep, 3 for 2 in their favor as well. This is what they want to see. And Euphoria, they've got such good ideas here. All of them so very low towards that end there. Could be extremely scary, especially with Yuktizzy, with the amount of damage that he's slowly building up. I mean, look at the items, right? He's already got the Berserker's Fury. He's going into the Endless Battle. I'm pretty sure he's going to get a BOD on top of it all. If not a Malefic Roar, either or is totally fine with me. You know, he's going to have more than enough true damage to start cutting through the thicker members, people. Like Heads God, for an example, or Yoshi God in this case.
And we already start to see the limitation of this Fredrin, right? You just cannot catch up to the Leslie. It has to be the Cho or no one at all.
Yeah, maybe they could get Shizzle God to get on top of him as long as he doesn't get one shot, so he's got to be extremely careful with his health.
Yoshi God dashing away with the Shun Pole, dragged back by the Shell Stampede, and now Euphoria pounces. Counter engage is there, and GameLab forced to use the call Alter. Oh, this is a good opportunity for Euphoria. They wait for it to time out. Aizawa getting caught. He's losing so much health. Vanguard just 1-2 punches him. They should at least get Vanguard, but no. Ryujin God saves him with that stolen call Alter. And Euphoria Esports turn their attention onto Lord.
What was that interaction that just happened? Like, it feels like GameLab, they're running out of steam here. The decision-making isn't as fast. And honestly, it's either you... Oh,
and the kick is there. Her boss eating the full brunt of the Blazing Duet. Ends up going down. Takenaga keeping the aggro on the Lord. Vanguard not healthy. GameLab have a good chance of taking this Lord away, and they know that. And Yoshi God is also keeping that Lord occupied. It's going to get very close. Lord down to 8,000. Euphoria going for the engage. Heads God leading the charge. Thorn Rose is dead. Vanguard going for the burst. And he finds the Lord for himself. Yoshi God does go down, but Euphoria Esports, they are out of there. The recall completed. But Shizzle God ends up going down. Ryujin God runs away. Euphoria with a minor win.
Yup, GameLab, unfortunately for Euphoria, they were just taking way too much damage. Coming in from the Lord, trying to juggle it for as long as possible, and GameLab just slowly poked them down, getting them low enough. They're willing to sacrifice the Lord for this because they know their composition is required to be a lot later in this game to actually be relevant. Now look at Yuktizzy's damage here. The true damage coming out of him is starting to become a problem for the side of Euphoria Esports. People like Vanguard, who's building full damage, and he's not going for Killing Spree. He's going for Master Assassin. Ideally, he's looking for flanks.
And this Lord just not doing much at all. Even the bottom wave was pushed in by Takenaga. So all these Lord and power minions end up being not giving much value. Even so, GameLab has the goal lead despite losing that Lord.
They have a very slight goal lead, in a matter of fact, but this is tough. Euphoria need to remember that neutral objectives might not necessarily be their game.
Takenaga is a juicy target, but Yoshi God is not gonna risk that flicker yet.
Okay, we get the BOD coming out from Yuktizzy. He's gonna be shredding people now.
The Conceal actually spotted out by GameLab. Yoshi God, is he gonna go for her Voss again? That's not an easy target to catch on. Yoshi God has enough durability to get away, but Thorn Rose gets onto him. Takenaga is there. Stolen call Alter once more. And look at Yuktizzy's damage. His God just lost half his health because of that. Ryujin God also has to block that snipe. GameLab ready to go for the chase. Shizo got in a dangerous position. You can't stay there for long.
Yep, they have to back away. Euphoria Esports, they can't just be taking this free poke for the side of GameLab. It's very difficult for them to sustain through it, especially with true damage. So they have to figure out way.
Uh-oh. Straight into a wild charge. He is. Yeah, he's dead.
He got hit by the wild charge even before touching the brush at that point. They open up the map with the ultimate snipe as well.
Yoshiko just eats all of that, but that Euphoria, they don't have the damage right now to fight. You see the battle mirror image is placed preemptively. Shizo got able to back off underneath the tier 2. They're slowly playing this push and pull. Call Alta is there. Shizo got still relatively healthy, but Yoshi got barely getting away. Now stolen wild shot from Ryujin got as well. He's cast the Shadow Stampede lashed onto him. And flicker to safety. Takenaka shows up, wants to go for a couple of cleanups, but couldn't really find it.
Yeah, he's got to be extremely careful there. He again, when you're positioning against a Lancelot, you have to think about your surrounding area. What could Lancelot get a free reset to close the distance? And Yoshigod, he's trying his absolute best here, but GameLab is making it tough for him to get in on these fights.
Just no snipe angles. And once more, this snipe from UTZ is keeping everyone from Euphoria away. Silver lining, they still have this mid-tier 1, which GameLab doesn't.
That is true. Euphoria has a high priority on keeping their mid-tier ones alive for as long as possible. They're willing to sacrifice all the way up to their inhibitors as long as that mid-tier one is available. Euphoria Esports feel a sense of safety.
It does allow them to access the lore easier as well.
Let's see how they play this out. This neutral objective last time did not go in the favor of Euphoria, but now the fight begins.
His got already pushed away. Takenaka just really putting the pressure. Her boss right there with them. Yoshi got not able to get the knockout, but this forced a flicker from her voice. That could be a key for Euphoria to jump back in. But this Lord is dangerously low. GameLab presses the conceal as well. Waiting for the timing. Hesgard wrapping around, but Venogod needs to find that Lord. Her boss has already gotten rid of Ryujin God. What can Euphoria do in the situation? No stolen call Alta. Hesgard just trying to drag out as much as possible. Venogod now goes in, tries to go for the burst, and once more finds the Lord. And Euphoria Esports content with that. They're just gonna hightail out of there, keeping 2 of their members alive. Or Hesgard's gonna go down, so only the Claude will be there. But at least Hesgard gets rid of Aizawa, who will instantly respawn. Good Thorn Rose to dodge the Praise of Wrath. GameLab still winning the fight anyways.
Nicely played coming in for GameLab. Even though they did give away this Lord to Euphoria Esports, they are more than happy to take this very final inhibitor with the death timers being just long enough for them to start sieging down this mid lane. That's what they're going to do. They're going to allow the side lane, especially the bottom side, to actually push in. If they can secure an inhibitor, that's a huge win for GameLab.
And looking for it, and look at Shizo got instantly forced back. UTZ just playing that Overwatch, allowing GameLab to get that inhibitor. We're starting to see some cracks inside of Euphoria. They can't get any engages off.
Hey, is somebody gonna clear up that top side there? There we go. We do see Takenaga making his way. They were willing to sacrifice a bottom tier 2 for a mid inhibitor, and this is great for GameLab, right? They have a consistently pushing wave, and now we're seeing that Euphoria, the composition really struggles against this overall poke, especially since Venogod can't seem to find the right timing to get on top of UTZ. Euphoria need to start thinking about ways to bait out spells from GameLab.
Even for Hesgard, right? You see a lot of times he's just walking in circles. He's really trying to get on top of GameLab. Even has the Twilight armor, and that, even that is not enough to protect him from all these bursts.
Because GameLab is just dragging out these fights. They're just poking, dragging, poke, drag for as long as possible because they know that Euphoria Esports can't sustain through this true damage. And more importantly so, GameLab are very comfortable with the space that they're actually obtaining. And Euphoria Esports just gives it to them because what else can they do as long as GameLab's Aizawa holds on to the Cult Altar?
Look at this, GameLab basically eating up the entire map. Nothing left in the jungle for Euphoria, except for the one camp on the top side. And also the purple buff coming back in 10 seconds. Thankfully for the Paquito, just not too hungry for the buff. Overall for GameLab, they have put themselves in the same state as game 2.
Yep, and this might be another 30-minute game here. Let's see how GameLab looks to close things out. In terms of high ground defense, they've got decent high ground defense. I would say that Euphoria has a slight advantage in that department, but both sides not utilizing artillery mages, so that means they're not exactly going to be able to clear multiple waves as quickly.
GameLab, just like this, they have taken control of majority of the map. And you have the Lord coming back up in another 20 seconds, the third Lord of this game.
And they're going to hold Euphoria Esports hostage again. They're just going to keep sitting around it. Yuktizzy with a Malefic Roar now. More penetration, not like he needed it, but hey, you know, it's plenty of damage that he can abuse. Aizawa, very ballsy of him walking up, trying to open up the map a little bit more to get ever so slightly more space for his team. Oh, Dokkan, he's getting kind of low there.
Yeah, Shizuka is going to start working on getting the stacks as well. And so far, I mean, GameLab has been finding it pretty difficult to catch Shizuka, right? He has the Battle Mirror image, has the Purify, but it's not like they need to catch it. The Call Altar has been doing a lot of work. Oh, he's got, in a rough position, swipe right back past the wall. Shizuka has a good angle to come right in, but we can see GameLab again, the poking game.
Oh, that's got. He should heal off of this wave, no problem. Oh no, he didn't have his first ability. That's so sad. A lot of great health wasted there, but once again, GameLab gonna do it all over again. Hostage situation. Let's see how they're gonna play this out. Euphoria, it's either they commit onto Aizawa to force him to utilize his ultimate, or they're gonna look for a flank angle.
Yeah, that's definitely good for Euphoria. They force the snipe onto Yoshigod, even as an immortality. So let your tank eat that spell. Voss also has his own immortality, but that's the poke, man, from Aizawa is getting a bit annoying. They catch a glimpse of the Lord, who is slowly getting whittled down. GameLab are not in a rush.
Man, this sucks. Yuktizzy has already chunked out both Shizo and as well as Yoshi. There's no way they can contest for this Lord.
They just rushed down the Lord, and Venogod even got caught as well. They're trying to escort him out, and they will do so, but this is the first time that GameLab has gotten the Lord in their favor for Game 4.
Finally, and more importantly, so when they are the strongest. And GameLab, they've been waiting for this for a very long time. They're like, Yuktizzy, are you max built yet? Not yet? Okay, let's just chill. And obviously, they want to be able to get these Lords for themselves, but Euphoria Esports, so far when it comes down to consistent retributions, Venogod seems to be the one.
And you compare both Yuktizzy and Shizogod, right? Shizogod, no winds of nature, just pure raw damage, just so you could cut through GameLab, including the Call Altar. So much work to do. Havos, he's just doing everything on his own at this point. Waves are crashing in.
This is where it's going to get tough here. It's high ground defense. Do they have enough damage? Let's find out.
No artillery means it's harder to defend against the Lord. Look at that, Lord already in front of the Crystal. Euphoria Esports, they gotta do something. Hezcall losing that immortality already. Stolen Call Altar is there. Shizogod gets rid of the Lord, stacking up that passive. Has no opportunities to use that Blazing Duet in any ways. But the silver lining is Euphoria keeps the whole team alive, but they will lose the entire base.
Again though.
Voss, gone on. Kickback, damage, not dead. Venogod still in the front. Now Blazing Duet from Shizogod isn't enough. It breaks the immortality of both Dolman and Havos. Maybe Euphoria can get a couple of kills as a consolation prize. They sure got Havos for 50 seconds. And GameLab gets the rest of the team out.
This is quite the breakout for Euphoria Esports. For the first time, Venogod finds an angle, a clear line to get on top of Yuktizzy and force the Winds of Nature. Put Yuktizzy at 1 HP, forcing him to flicker at the same time. And even Headsgod, he wanted to finish it off so badly. But right now, your predictions, 54% on GameLab, 46% on Euphoria Esports. For the first time, it is split down the middle to a degree.
We have not seen any prediction that is as even as this.
Yes, usually it's a landslide.
Usually it's a landslide, and usually the team that has a landslide vote wins. Well, except for AE, but that's...
that's a different story. They've got different problems to work on. But for now, this is quite the game here. If Euphoria can find another opportunity to get on top of Yuktizzy just like that, they basically secured this game. A majority of their damage is from Yuktizzy. As much as Havos deals damage, Shizogod doesn't really care about it. He's got that Purify. He's got that Winds of Nature to ensure that he lives. Yuktizzy, running out of resources, had to use both of his key abilities or key utilities to keep himself alive. So we do see a repurchase of the Winds of Nature.
And honestly, for Euphoria Esports, compared to Game 2, they don't really have the playmakers that they had, right? No Kakura, no Franco.
I mean, they got Cho.
Sure. That's one way to look at it.
It's tough.
It is, yeah.
Admittedly, for Cho to play in this game, no matter who you kick, it's going to get saved by that Call Altar. There's really no going around that.
Shizogod he's going to start getting the purple buff first, just to get a bit of a CDR. They see this Lord being taken, and GameLab, if they get this Lord, high chance this game ends right then and there. Before really putting the body in front, Shizogod, he needs a good flank angle, and it might be a good one. Shizogod waiting for the opportunity, right to the back. There's it, Call Altar is out. Shizogod having the Call Altar stolen to protect him as well. Euphoria Esports chunking down the hell bar. Yoshigod going for the flicker, but no kick. Immortality pop. He's gonna lose his life. Yuktizi is godlike. No one can touch this Leslie.
Nobody. Just the perfect defense coming out from GameLab. Oh, it's not over yet.
Ooh, Shizogod even taking that one hit from Yuktizi, almost going down. And Rujingon now has to block those bullets. Veno got spotted out. Has no point of entry onto the Lord. GameLab once more just taking their time, wheeling out the Lord. And Venogod can't contest this. They have to give it away. Dolman flickers forward, gets the kill onto Ryujin God. His God also goes down. I think we are getting that well-deserved Game 5.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think GameLab have worked too hard to not bring it to the very end here.
And
whoa, where did he go?
I think it's the Leslie. UTZ isn't even shooting it. Oh, well, now he did.
What happened earlier? I feel like Aizawa has more stacks than I would like to believe.
Well, GameLab, they're going to break the crystal, wipe out Euphoria Esports. We get a Game 5. It's not done just yet.
God, wow. All right, solid game coming in from GameLab. I mean, despite, some of their players feeling a little under the weather, they're enduring it right now. They're enduring it for the Pantheon.
Yeah, and this pun is fully intended, but we're reaching a fever pitch.
Oh boy.
For GameLab. I mean, yeah, they definitely deserve a bit of that breather because so far you see this ping-ponging effect, right? When you